Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Dance Teacher Potential channel. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how to better help your students evolve, how to keep them in the right mindset and encourage them to get better. You know, there was a lot of old school influences where when you went to dance class, it was very stressful and very negative, and you were almost punished for doing the wrong thing, right? Especially in like really conservative ballet trainings, for example. And so if you think about it, if as an adult you are in the right mindset, even if you're faced with a challenge, you are going to achieve it better. You are going to go to work through it better. So we have this idea that if you keep the children in the right mindset, then they will work better, they will feel better, they will go through their challenges a little bit better. Even if they're going through a hard day, then, you know, it's between the difference of negative and positive reinforcement. Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I started out with that mindset. It was like, well, if you didn't do the work or if you didn't, participate in class, you don't get your participation sticker, stamp, what have you. Because I was like, that doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything. And then you would go home and you'd be like, I really want that. So next time I'm going to come back and I'm going to try harder. Um, Throughout my teaching career, I learned um, that it's probably not the best way to go about things because it ended up leaving kids feeling very down and it wasn't getting the results that I wanted to. And maybe it was because, younger kids have such big emotions and they don't respond as an adult would. Like if someone did that to me, I would probably work harder, but a kid,
Yeah,
you're not going
absolutely.
to get the same effect.
Results.
Yeah.
You know, so little ones, you are absolutely right, right? They're in a development stage where they are understanding their emotions, and sometimes they have a really hard time with big emotions. And so, as teachers, you need to be aware of what's going through their lives or through their process. Sometimes also children are overreacting and being naughty purposefully to get your attention.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that is a dynamic they're working through at home, or maybe they're trying to push limits, you know, as they grow, they're trying to see how much they can get away with. um, and so it's our job to guide them in the classroom and encourage them the right way. And so it's not that there are no consequences for being super rowdy and not paying attention and like disturbing everyone, and
Yeah.
definitely not when someone is being mean, because sometimes it can get out of control, and you know, you don't want anybody to hit another kid. You know, that it can be, you know, so such a vast variety of issues that you're working in the classroom. But always you have to remember that if you are able to connect with the kid, with the
Hmm.
student, if you are able to encourage them to feel better, if you are able to guide them, to help them understand how to behave in the classroom,
Yeah.
how good it feels to do the things right, and to, you know, once you've achieved something, then you feel better. Sometimes kids are overreacting because they don't understand what you're saying or what they need to be doing, and they feel
Yeah.
silly, and then they rather overreact than feel silly and like confused about what's happening.
Right.
And so sometimes it's because maybe as a teacher you're going too fast and they're not able to understand and connect.
Hmm.
And you know, as adults, if you're able to connect and achieve your results, then you feel better. So it's the same with the children.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a little of an ebb and flow. And sometimes you need even help from the parents, you know, like it can escalate, escalate, escalate when
Right.
you're like, well, I really need to do something about it. Then you talk to the parents, or you talk to whoever, you know, works with you at the studio, and you come all together with a action plan for that student
Right.
if it comes out of control. But most of the times, you know, trying to help them feel okay instead of punishing them. So
Right.
sometimes those students, when you know they're in like the worst behavior, then you're like, please stay in your spot, stop talking, like do this thing. And then a second later you're like, that was amazing, and then you see their little smile come up and they're like, oh my goodness, you know, I get rewards for doing the things that I need to be
Yeah.
doing. And then you help them change that mindset. What do
Right.
you think? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Recently I found that, and sometimes it's a class by class basis. You start to
Mhm.
learn the personalities of the class, and you're like, this is going to work for this class. But recently, with a lot of my classes, I found pinpointing either one student or a couple students who are just doing a fantastic job, either with their listening skills or working in the correct way or something. And I really not give all of my attention to them, but I make sure to point them out to the whole class. And I've been doing like a star student or a wow card, or at the end, I'm like, our star student today was such and such. And so that is not a punishment for the rest of the kids, but it's a reward for one specific or multiple students. Sometimes it's all of them,
Yeah,
which those days are fantastic. But the kids then want that star. They want to work hard. They want to reap like the benefits and, you
exactly.
know,
It's like an inspiration to them to
right,
do the same thing. Yes.
right,
Yes, and we do that. And so when you do that in the classroom, you highlight someone that's doing a fantastic job, not necessarily comparing them to the other ones and saying you're all doing a terrible job.
right,
It's more like, wow, that's amazing. Let's look at them. And so that student feels amazing. And then the other ones, want to do a good job as well.
right,
Sometimes you'll intuitively realize that one of the students in the classroom feels like they haven't been called, or like there's something like they're not the star or haven't been the
right.
star, and then you make them the star even
Yeah,
if they're
even if,
struggling through something. Then
absolutely,
you help them, yeah, you help
totally,
them emotionally, so they're like, oh wow, my goodness, I did a good job. So I think that inspiration and that encouragement and that positive thing could be for someone who's having a hard time sometimes. If you give them like a really nice praise and encouragement, then they'll feel better. Or someone that's working really, really hard, they'll like
right,
realize that their hard work is it's being
right.
noticed and they're being seen. You want everybody in your classroom to feel seen,
Hmm.
no matter, their level of
Absolutely.
proficiency, I guess.
Right. Because dance is not a punishment, Dance is something that should be fun and freeing, and you want to come back and you want to feel good. So I think taking away that punishment acts is, I think, really rewarding for the whole class and for you.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
absolutely. And then you'll keep the entire class in the right mind frame, mindset, and it'll help you. You'll see
yeah,
them work harder and be happier in
for sure,
classroom. Yep.
for sure. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everything will be linked in our bio. We have an amazing teacher training course. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes. In our teacher training course, we also give you management tools that if you are having trouble with a student or you don't really understand how to guide them, we'll give you tools to work in your classroom. And so you can click on the link below and follow us. And also, you can ask us any questions and we'll be happy to help you.
Absolutely. So make sure you like and subscribe to see more from us. We post every week our tips and tricks, and by clicking subscribe, you'll make sure to never miss a tip. So we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.